When I look around churches today, especially the last couple I've been part of, I see so many incredible women. Yet often when these women are asked to step up and share something of their story, they lack confidence. They don't seem to realise who they are or the amazing things that God has placed inside them. And this saddens me because somehow in churches everything feels topsy-turvy, where we have women in their 20s and 30s running groups in the church, while the women who were in their 50s, 60s and 70s, who've lived through so many challenges and tough times, who found God in it all and come out the other side with so much wisdom, often find themselves overlooked, ignored or relegated to serving tea and coffee. Now, I'm not saying that serving tea and coffee isn't valuable, because connecting with people over a cup of coffee or tea can be incredibly meaningful. But what saddens me is that most of these older women have no model, no one to look up to see what it looks like for them to step into all that God has for them. Now, the Bible clearly says that older women should be teaching the younger women, but this is so rarely modelled in churches today, and I think it's a real shame. And worse than that, I think that the church lacks both the power and wisdom God intended it to have, because it isn't placing the same value on these older women and all that He's placed in them that He does. Over the past year, I've been privileged to be part of a small group led by an older woman. She lost her husband a few years ago, and God has been teaching her so many incredible things. And she's had the courage to step up and lead a small group and share some of the things that God's been doing in her life. And as I've watched her lean into God, stay hungry for Him and share how she hears from Him, it has been such a blessing and an encouragement to me in my walk with God. Yet I don't see many older women like her, women who are being encouraged to press into all that God's calling them to. Perhaps it is because of a lack of opportunities, I don't know, but I believe sometimes we also have to create those opportunities ourselves. Maybe we just have to listen to what God is saying and step out in faith, even if that is Him calling us to do something new. As you can probably tell, I'm pretty passionate about God's purpose for older women, especially at a time when many of us can feel like we're on the scrap heap. The kids have left home, we're wondering what our purpose is, and often there doesn't seem to be any space for us in the church to share our stories or our wisdom. But when I look at God and the women in the Bible, I see that He does have a purpose for us. He has plans for us, good things in store, and He hasn't finished with us yet. Perhaps you remember the movie The Holiday with Jack Black and Kate Winslet. They filmed it in a gorgeous little cottage that they built especially for the movie. Now, when Kate Winslet's character Iris is in America, she's staying next to an old movie star, and he gets her to watch all these old classic films, each featuring a strong woman who has gumption. His idea is that as she spends time with these women who have gumption, she'll embrace the strength he knows she has already got inside her. And that's exactly what happens when her old boyfriend Jasper shows up and tries to win her back. She gives him a piece of her mind and shows him the door. Over the next few weeks, I'll be digging deeper into the stories of Bible women you rarely hear about. And I know that listening to their stories has given me the metaphorical kick in the pants that Kate Winslet experienced as she hung out with those women who had gumption. And certainly a lot of these women in the Bible have incredible gumption. So as we journey through this topic together, I'd love to invite you to consider subscribing so we can explore these women's stories together and discover the plans God has for each of us. Because I believe that whatever your age, whatever your situation, God has not finished with you yet.